I mean, congratulations firstly. What an achievement. 50 games. Something you expected that this would, sort of come and talk us through the journey, because obviously it's an incredible achievement.
Yeah, it's super exciting. You can't expect anything in this day and age. And over the past couple of years, I've had some pretty serious injuries that, could have put this in some serious jeopardy. So definitely wasn't expecting it. And it's been a long road to get to here. But super excited, super honoured and stoked to be playing it for Gold Coast.
Of those injuries and stuff, it must make it even more special to finally get here.
Yeah, obviously the injuries definitely make you appreciate the small wins and definitely allow you to smell the roses along the way. So I think this is definitely something that I can take from the injury to go, how exciting this is, actually maybe a little bit more than what it might have been without them.
Home game as well against Coast Coast will be pretty exciting to do in front of the whole club here as well to help celebrate such a huge achievement.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've had so much support from the club ever since I stepped through the door, and I can't wait to do it with them behind me and also with my family support as well. So they all get to be here as well, which is fantastic.
You're one of the first signings for the Gold Coast Suns and now the first player to reach 50 games. What do you think you've learned or developed over that journey?
That is a good question. I'm definitely a better person, and the club's helped me do that. For sure. Hopefully I'm a better player for them as well. I'd like to say that. But in terms of what I can reflect on, I'm 100% a better person. I came to the club probably wanting and really over striving to be the best club we could be instead of allowing others around me to help do that as well. And I think from being here, the club has put a lot of support around me to help do that through improving my leadership style, my communication, and even obviously as a player. And then throughout the injuries, they've been super supportive as well. So I can't thank them enough.
There's probably many, but what's the most memorable moment of your 50 games so far?
The first win here was pretty exciting. That game was obviously a really close game. It was just exactly what I think the club epitomises, that continued strength, that compete, that contest, the will to win when we're playing our best footy. That's what we do best. And I think that win itself just showcases all of that. Obviously kicking a first goal too helps as well. But no, definitely our first win.
What can you remember from that first goal?
Not kicking it correctly is the first thing I can remember, but just being so excited to, be able to put my best foot forward for us as a club and make sure that we got the W on the day. So, it's been a long achievement and a long journey, but that win is the reason why I want to play here.
Hope there's many more games to come. What can we expect from you?
Yeah, hopefully there's many more to come. New position this year, so playing as a forward, so hopefully I can bring my experience down to that line and use my smarts around the contest there and ideally kick a few goals, but if not, keeping it in our forward half and making sure that we are able to put a score on the board.
One more quick one from me as well. Where does this sort of group rank? We obviously talk about, you've gained some new faces, but sort of the core group remains the same. Where does this group, sort of gauge it, and where do you sort of see it going? Is finals a real opportunity? Oh, 100%.
It's really exciting. Under Joyce now, this is our third season, so we're actually starting to gel as a group and get some of those foundational connections together. We've obviously had a really good off-season in terms of our ability to run out games, and I think we showed that on the weekend with how we came home. We're actually starting to, I think, understand his game plan and actually be able to produce that as well, which is fantastic. And with us being such a young group, it takes time for young players to be great. Not all of us can be Charlie Rowbottom and come in and be superstars, but I think you see that in terms of the likes of Daisy and, even someone like Darcy just played her first game on the weekend, but she will come along with all the young kids. And then we have some other players that have come along throughout the process, like Sard, Viv Sard, who's just grown leaps and bounds in our culture. So I think just understanding what he wants from us, and it will give us a really good chance to play finals this year.
First AFLW home game of the season. Is there a message to all the members and fans out there?
Yeah, come on down. It's we play a really good, exciting brand of footy. We are looking to score. We want to make the most of every chance we possibly can. And I think the one thing that you'll get from us all the time is a competition and a contest. So you'll never wonder whether we're here to win or lose. So come on down, get behind us.
How proud are you? This is obviously a great achievement individually, but for the team and the club as a whole, pretty incredible achievement.
It's fantastic. I was reflecting a bit yesterday, and the first time I met Jamie was when I was at North Melbourne, and reflecting on, I suppose, her development just in the game, and as she said, as a person, I couldn't be prouder to be coaching her, and I think you look at the list of achievements. She's been able to be a dominant midfielder. She's been a tagger from when I first came in and did some really crucial roles, and now she's hitting the scoreboard playing as a forward. So she's been a club champion, the first player to obviously sign on with the Suns. She's been there from the start of the AFLW. She's the first player to play 50 games. With us. I couldn't be more pleased for her, and can't wait to see her play on the weekend.
It's also a credit to how far, not just this club, but the league's come when these milestones come around.
I think with potentially more games coming in the future, people might be able to get there quicker. But I think people don't understand how with short seasons and limited games, especially at the start, like how tough it is to actually get to 50 games. I wouldn't imagine there's too many players in the competition that have actually done that. So I don't know the number, but I would have thought it's a pretty short list.
Not the only motivation. First home game of the weekend. How good is it to finally sort of be back here at Heritage Bank Stadium? Yeah,
it's great. It's great. Like we really want to make it a really hard place to play here. We won 4 out of 5 games in Queensland last year, and we're looking to start on that right note this weekend. And as Jamie said, we want everyone to get down and support us. 11:05 kid friendly time. So we want everyone to bring the kids down. There's hopefully there's not as much sport going on at the end of term and all those sort of things as well. So there shouldn't be too many excuses. The sun's shining. Get down here and support us.
Good and bad signs from the opening game. What did you sort of take from that, and the lessons you learnt from the slow start?
Yeah, look, we probably took a little bit to adjust to what the game was throwing up a little bit, but we certainly rattled home, and the girls gave us a chance to win in the end, but we weren't quite good enough. We probably had some opportunities. We left, I reckon, out there probably throughout the first 3 quarters, and we took them in the last quarter. I think there's definitely some learnings for us about how to adjust to what different opposition throw up at us, but at the same time to try and get the game played as we want it to, and how do we arm wrestle it back to what we want it to look like.
Just West Coast specifically this weekend, how much have we looked at them, and what's the key this weekend to getting 4 points?
Yeah, look, we've played them the last couple of years, so we've certainly been able to have a good look previously. But like every team, they've had opportunities to have a longer pre-season. They've got some really quality young players in their team, along with some experience as well. So we know that they're coming and they're improving. So we know we've got to be up for the task and up for the contest from the first bounce, and make sure, like I said before, we get the game looking like we want it to around the contest. We move the ball, the way we know we can, and then support that with really good team defence.
Ella Roberts talked to the footy world last week, Rising Star nomination. You gave Lucy singular tagging role last week. Is Ella Roberts got Lucy's number on it this week?
I don't know. Like Ella plays in a lot of different positions too. So she plays forward. She went on, in the centre bounce, especially later in the game on the weekend, and comes up around the stoppages. So one thing we don't want to do is just chase her around. So, but at the same time, she's a very, very good player. Very good player. So we'll definitely respect her ability and work through what the best opponent and opponents there are across the course of the day.
In the fullback role, you gave it to Mira Gerben last week, and to be honest, you probably had the better of Darcy Bessico across the game, and probably just the first quarter in that little patch in the third where she lost her. She got the job again this week, and I suppose looking ahead, is there a sort of an internal Gerben versus Sard battle for the fullback role into the season?
I think Mira is probably a little bit different to Viv in terms of, I suppose comparing them. I think Mira has got the ability to play up higher. On the weekend we gave her the job, so she was probably deeper a little bit more on Darcy. But yeah, we're really happy with Mira's progress. Like coming in, she's been a real sponge and wanting to learn. She's pretty realistic in terms of going, okay, well, this is what I need to work on and this is what I need to improve on. So, but yeah, she brings a lot to the table. She's a great runner, play on different types of players, up and down in terms of height-wise. She's really good in terms of with the other defenders, in terms of actually being able to gel. So, yeah, I think they're different types of players, but Mira can certainly do a few different roles, which she'll probably do again this week.
And probably just one question about Tara, who probably looked just a little bit out of sorts on Saturday, just didn't quite get the sort of the halving the battles up forward that she wanted to. Was there any trouble with her pre-season prep or any interruptions, anything wrong with the body? Or was it just one of those days?
No, I think it's interesting because you're doing Tara's review. I think some things we've got to look at is she put herself in and got the opportunity. So she had 4 shots at goal. Took 3 or 4 marks. Set up 1 or 2 others as well. So her, a little bit like the team, it's like, we'd like to take a few more of those opportunities, right? So, but the reality is we know she can't mark every ball that comes in. That's unrealistic. So, but we think she's giving us a great target, and we're certainly looking forward to her getting out there again this week.
And last one from me, I suppose the reverse question to Ella Roberts. Do you, not so much fear, but Charlie Rowbottom got a lot of attention for her performance last week. Is she now becoming sort of a taggable target and someone that you may need to think ahead and look, how can we protect her if we find that she's got someone chasing her balls and chain?
No. I think there'll be definitely teams that try and tag her. I'm not sure that she's that taggable, to be honest. So I think she just loves the contest. You know what I mean? So I don't think anything's going to get in her way. And she's been tagged before. We've been able to work that, some 2v1s and stoppages, and freeing other players up, which she's pretty selfless at, which is great. So I just think it doesn't matter what challenge she gets, that she's certainly one that will fight through it. So. But yeah, you're right. There'll probably be some extra attention, you would have thought, on her in the coming weeks.
Thanks, guys.
Perfect.
I don't know where we do it.
You can check that side.